What's happening, Renzo Gang? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Now today, this is another real talk, real life video, and it's been a little while since I've done these type of videos. So we just gonna dive right on into it. But before we do, Renzo Gang, hope everyone's had an amazing day today. I appreciate you guys with all the love and support you guys shown me on my channel. I thank you all. Thank you all. Now, this video is going to be titled "Staying Consistent." And I do have a couple more of these videos that I do want to put out, but not the staying consistent. But I got two more type of videos with the help of my peers from off of Instagram. I put up a poll on Instagram and had up some ideas of what kind of videos to do next, and I got some pretty good votes. So I'm gonna start off with this one first, staying consistent. I got a couple more that I'm gonna be dropping later this week, so stay tuned for those. But this one right here, this one is titled "Staying Consistent." No matter what you do, no matter what kind of project, no matter what you're doing with your life, whether it's a workout routine, whether it's content creation, whether it's working out, whether it's eating right, whether it's, it's job or school, stay consistent on what you're doing. Because I promise you, that hard work is going to pay off sooner or later. It's going to take some time, but that hard work, I promise you, that hard work, it'll be all worth it. Like, for example, me right now, I'm trying to stay as consistent as much as I can with my YouTube channel, because to be honest with you, like, I just love doing my YouTube. And especially around like the first, like, this is like my first year doing YouTube. And when I first started, like, I was being straight up consistent. Like, I was like literally dropping like 8 videos a week, like within a week. And then I was like, you know what? You want to be consistent, but you don't want to be too consistent where you're burning yourself out. And what I try to do is I try to do at least like 4 videos and have them uploaded throughout the week, so the algorithm can see that I'm constantly putting out stuff. And lately I have been taking breaks here and there, because I don't want to get burnt out doing what I love to do. You never want to get burnt out doing what you love to do. And honestly, lately I have been thinking about starting to post on social media some like wrestling content, because I love wrestling that much, and I want to actually be one of those YouTubers that actually get invited out to a WWE PLE or any type of wrestling event. Like, it don't matter what it is, but all my content creators and YouTubers, like all my fellow content creators and YouTubers, like, y'all showed out at WrestleMania, and that's another reason why I've been, it lit a fire under me to want to keep going harder. So that's another reason why I made this video, being consistent. I want to continue being consistent in my videos. I want to continue being consistent, because you never know who's watching your videos. You just never know. It could be somebody that's very important that we don't know, or it can be someone that we all look up to or follow, or whatever the case may be. You just never know who's watching your videos or watching your content. That's why you want to be as consistent as possible. And with me, I'm gonna get back into being more consistent in what I've been doing. I have been taking a lot of breaks lately, and I don't want to get to the point where I feel like I'm being lazy and not putting out videos like I normally do, because I love to do a lot of YouTube videos, but at the same time I want to have that, I want to create that balance of not getting burnt out, but also being consistent without being burnt out, if that make any sense, y'all. I want you guys to comment down below some, like, what are you consistent in? Like, what are you trying to be consistent in? Like, maybe this video could possibly help you out. Maybe this video can like motivate you to change up how you're being consistent. You know what I'm saying? And also, even though I'm making this video trying to help out others, sometimes these videos like these, they help me out as well, because it helps me become a better person. And also, I want to try to motivate you all and get you all feeling good, about yourselves. Like, no matter what topic it is. Like, it can be, dating advice. It could be, something like this. Just just be consistent. Sorry, I'm about to yawn. This rain. Yeah. But anyway, just be consistent in what you're doing, and then try not to, try to have that balance of, also not burning yourselves out, because burning yourself out will cause you not to be consistent. You don't want to be too overly consistent with stuff, and that's what we all as beginners do. Like with anything that we're doing, like everyone's gonna be overly consistent. Everyone's gonna be overly consistent with stuff because when you first start with something, you want to try to get your name out there as quickly as possible, and sometimes these things take time. And with YouTube and content creations, like the algorithm is going to take a while to find the right audience for your niche, or the right audience for your platform. So that's why, like, they tell you, like, try not to overdo it when you first start, especially with content creation or YouTubing, because it is a lot different than what everyone think it is, and everyone think it's all easy peasy lemon squeezy, and it's not always the case. Like, a lot of things that we do are not gonna be easy, especially content creation or YouTubing is not gonna be easy. You have to take time, and you have to edit your stuff properly without copyrights, and worrying about getting your stuff taken down or flagged, or just, it's a lot that you have to do when you're in the content creation world, or YouTube world. I feel like they're the same thing, but different strokes for different folks. But whenever you're starting something new, be consistent. Don't be one of those that just post one day and then hopefully thinking it's gonna be people are gonna notice you. You got to keep promoting yourself. Being consistent. You got to promote yourself. You got to promote what you're doing. Share your stuff on like different social media platforms. Find out what social media platform is what's best for you. And personally, Facebook, it can help, but at the same time, Instagram and I feel like Twitter and TikTok are, really what gets people's, platforms pushed out there. Because sometimes with Facebook, you have, like, with Facebook, I'm going to just say, like, Facebook, one of them platforms that you got, people that only support who they want to support, especially when it comes to your hometown. And you definitely have to, like, find other sources and find other ways to promote your stuff, because I'm telling you, strangers will support you a lot faster than people that you do. That's why with me, when I first started out with YouTube, I was being consistent and worrying about the numbers and worrying about the views. And I'm here to tell you, if you constantly worrying about the numbers and views all the time, like, it's gonna take away from what you're trying like what you're trying to put out in your your platform and your content. That's what I mean. Now sometimes it does get discouraging, it does get a little frustrating. Sometimes the views vary up and down, especially depending on like what type of stuff that you're putting out there. Because with me, with my YouTube channel, I'm consistent in putting out reaction videos to animation, wrestling, movie trailers, TV show trailers. I do a lot of different things, on my channel. I don't just stick to just one thing. I do a lot of different things on my channel. And I'm consistent about, certain things, because like I said earlier, you just never know who's watching your stuff. And another reason why I'm starting to get back into more like wrestling content is because I actually want the superstars that I follow and that I've actually seen live, to actually like check out my stuff, and push my stuff out to their fan base, because they have a lot of people in their fan bases. And that's how you get your stuff out there. And also be consistent in not only promoting your stuff, but also when you're watching other people's stuff, engage in their stuff. I try to engage as much as I can, and like the YouTubers that I follow, I try to engage as much as I can, because that also can help push your platform and your niche and your channel out there. Just be consistent and what's the word I'm looking for? Be consistent and connecting. Connection. That helps. And also with me, with my YouTube channel, like I said, I do a lot of wrestling. Well, not a lot, but I do enough wrestling content and like reactions to like wrestling stuff, to where like I actually kind of have starting to link up with more wrestling fans that have their own platforms, and I want to start collaborating with them. You know, like last year, I really didn't think, I was gonna at least reach up to like, now I have 103 subscribers, and I have like almost 400 videos that I put out, and like I didn't think I was gonna, get this far. I mean, I've gotten far than where I've become, but I have to, work to get where I want to go. Because like I said, hard work, pays off, and like you got to keep doing what you're doing. Like, and I want to try like different things. Like, I want to start doing mukbangs. I want to start doing like food and treat reviews. Just switching stuff up on my channel, so like different people from like different parts of like my niches can come together and just watch my stuff. Whether you enjoy it or not, I know that you guys clicking on my videos and watching them, and that's what's important to me. From like getting my views up, and I'm being consistent as I can. I'm I'm promoting as much as I can on my social media platforms. I'm also getting my stuff out there, word of mouth. Like when I'm not at home, or if I'm at work, or just out somewhere, I like, like I tell people, hey, I got a YouTube channel, this, that, and there, show me some love, and being consistent, and not just, sitting down on a computer or behind a desktop, also being consistent is, networking with people. That's where I was looking for earlier. Networking with people, word of mouth, just promoting your stuff. Like consistency can mean a whole lot of different things, however you take it. Um, you gotta, you just have to put your foot down and just go out there and do what you gotta do. Just be consistent, but also learn the difference between being consistent and overworking yourself. You don't want to burn yourself out. And a little bit, I kind of felt like I was gonna burn myself out, so I'm like, what? Let me kind of slow it down with 8 videos a week. So let me just break my stuff down and like at least do two here, two here. But I'm still being consistent, and you know my analytics, is speaking for itself. It's not, in the millions, but it's getting up there. And my views, I'm still working on my views, but at the same time, like I'm still, people still know who I am, and I'm getting my name out there slowly but surely. I'm gonna get my name out there. I will get my name out there. My YouTube channel will blow up, and I'm gonna speak that into existence because all this hard work I'm putting into my channel, like I'm not giving up on this channel. Whether I'm having good days or bad days, I'm not giving up on my channel. Sorry about the yawning, y'all. This gloomy day is, I can't stand it. And it's almost June tonight. You see, I have a hoodie on, and it's almost June. That's crazy. But anyway, but the message I'm just trying to put out there, y'all, be consistent in what you're doing. Like, especially if it's something that you love to do, be consistent in it. Don't give up. You know, and being consistent can mean a lot of things. And it's not just working. You also gotta promote your stuff, and word travels word of mouth, and just keep doing what you're doing. Build your platform, build everything you can, and don't be afraid to take control of your destiny. But also give God credit, because without him, none of us would have nothing. Without him, I wouldn't even have this. I wouldn't even have y'all as my subscribers. I wouldn't even have 103 subscribers right now without him. So I give him praise every single chance that I get. you know and I'm just thankful that you guys are allowing me to to share my stories with y'all, and just put my work out there, whether I get good views, whether I don't get the best views. I really appreciate you guys are just even acknowledging my channel. Like, I thank y'all. I really do appreciate y'all, for real. Like, it does mean a lot to me, and I thank y'all. I can't stop thanking y'all enough, you know what I'm saying? But Renzo Gang, I got a couple more of these videos they're gonna be pushing out so this week, so just be prepared. And for some of you that don't have to work, for Memorial Day week, you can just find time and just watch my videos, you know what I'm saying? So Renzo Gang, with that being said, I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for everything that you've done, just supporting my channel. I love y'all, and I'll be back for a couple more videos. You feel me, Renzo Gang? Also, comment down below what else you want to see, like what other type of motivational stuff you want to see. You know, engage with me a little more. Give this video a fat thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, turn that post notification bell on. I love y'all, Renzo Gang. I will see y'all next time.